The U.S. created the Afghan army during the war against Al-Qaeda and the Taliban 6 years ago. But now it seems the army has recently been supplied with faulty ammo. In January 2007, the American government awarded $300 million to a Miami-based company run by a 21-year-old, making it the main contractor of the U.S. in supplying munitions to Afghanistan. Efraim Diveroli promptly got down to business. Together with his fellow young arms dealers, he supplied banned Chinese ammunition, some of it half a century old, shipping it from Albania and claiming it was made in Hungary. The company's contract was terminated after 5 months because of alleged fraud, but only after $66 million of American taxpayers' cash had already been spent. Meet Eric Schmidt. He's one of the New York Times reporters who were first to bring the scam into the spotlight. He says the AEY company exploited a weakness in the American legal system, taking full advantage of it.
There are a lot of loopholes in the system that the military uses to buy ammunition. If they were going to be buying ammunition for the United States Army, they'd use one set of regulations. But because this ammunition was being used for Afghanistan, they used a different set of regulations that had some loopholes that this company successfully exploited.
The U.S. State Department has a watch list of potential arms traffickers. The AEY company and the people who run it were included in this list with a warning of the dangers of working with them. However, there's no evidence that the Defense Department took the time to check the list before executing the AEY contract. What makes matters worse are claims that the U.S. State Department may have been involved in the cover-up. Eric Schmidt says the most disturbing part of the scandal is just how far it seems to reach.
The Albanian defense minister came up with a plan, well, let's just essentially get rid of the evidence. According to this military officer who was at the meeting, he said that the U.S. ambassador agreed with this plan.
The ambassador, however, denies all the allegations being made. Why would the U.S. government trust a company run by a 21-year-old with a multi-million-dollar deal? The U.S. House of Representatives was eager to find the answer behind the question and had an investigation of its own. And one of the things it discovered was that the need for the contract was questionable in the first place. At the time the AEY contract was awarded, a number of countries had offered to donate ammunition without charge. Lindsay is an investigative journalist and popular blogger who has been looking into the scam.
The government could have had this old junk for free, but then international dealers snapped it up and sold it back to the government for a whole lot of money.
Lindsay says the people involved could have had friends in very high places, and that's how the scam went unnoticed for so long.
If you look closer at the public record, you start realizing that they were enmeshed in a whole network of defense and import, export, and scrap metal dealerships and non-profits. It was just this community, and it seems as if the younger guys are being set up to take the fall.
The AEY company president, who is now 22, has pleaded not guilty after being charged with over 70 counts of defrauding the U.S. government and could face decades in prison. How the details will unravel and who will be punished remains to be seen, as the first stages of the judicial process are only now getting underway. Anastasia Churkina, RT.